Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Michigan lands another commit in the 2024 class, and of course, we're talking about it. Another offensive lineman in Jake Guarnera from the state of Florida, beating out teams like Florida, Penn State. Another massive victory for Michigan, and on the offensive line. Like, we're going to have a conversation about how many more offensive linemen are we taking in this 2024 class, but as much as fans might get frustrated, where are the big playmakers? This is the blueprint for Michigan football. This is how we've won the Big Ten the last couple of years. Physical up front, running the football. I agree. I want some playmakers. I want some guys who can stretch the field on the offensive side of the ball in terms of wide receivers. But this is what Michigan does. And the offensive line is the foundation to Michigan winning games. And I mean, at the end of the day, you get on your hard hat, and that's what Michigan does. And I'm fired up to see every offensive lineman just wanting to go play for Michigan. You get developed by Sharon Moore. You have one of the best strength staffs in Ben Herbert. It's another win. Again, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the 2024 class in general, still the number one class in the nation. But before we do, again, just want to say thank you to you guys, especially the Michigan fans. It's been just so fun to talk Michigan football. You know we love talking it. You know we're big Michigan fans. And all the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to take the hard hat off because it is hurting my head a little bit. But again, all the support has been absolutely awesome. Let's take a look at the prospect in Jake Guarnera and then talk about what this 2024 class looks like. What I like most about what about Jake is like he can play a lot of positions on the offense line. Like his junior season started at left tackle. He's an absolute road grader in the run game, but 6'4", 290 pounds, probably going to play on the interior. That's where 24/7 has him projected. We see a lot of that. Like a lot of guys, Trevor Keegan playing at guard for us right now. He's played tackle in a pinch, and the more prospects you can get in who can do a bunch of different things, and you see where their body and how their body develops over the years at Michigan, the versatility means a lot, especially when the offensive line is such an important aspect to Michigan winning football games. Having a guy like Jake Guarnera who can play guard if you need him to, can kick out to tackle in a pinch and play it at a high level. He also plays basketball and throws in track and field. So I love my offensive linemen who play basketball because they got good feet. When you play basketball and you're a big guy, you know you're going to have the athleticism and feet to play tackle, to play in space, and do a lot of the pulling and a lot of the zone schemes that Michigan asks you to do. And so I love that. And he's a powerful dude. And you see it with the numbers he puts up in track and field and throwing, but you also see it on the football field. Plays with really good pad level. He's a nasty, nasty guy. Puts a lot of people into the dirt. And it's just another guy. I mean, we're going to take a look at this 2024 class in general. And again, this has some holding power. Now, do I think Michigan will stay with that number one overall rank? Hard to say because Georgia's just making a strong push and they have so much traction with some of these top guys. But I don't think it's crazy that Michigan finishes with a top five, with a top three class. You couple that with the development we've seen from Michigan athletes under Ben Herbert and under this coaching staff, you feel really good about the future. And then the 2024 class in general, we'll talk about who we have coming in, talk about our next prospects that we have coming up that we want. Jaden Davis, the crown jewel of this class. He's a guy that he can do it outside the pocket. He has phenomenal arm talent. He's going to attract playmakers. And what the whole thing with Jaden Davis is wide receivers are going to want to play with him, and you're going to have a really good run game. Like you bring in Jordan Marshall, a top 100 dude, one of the best running backs in the class. You're going to have a phenomenal offensive line for seemingly the next 5 years. The run game is going to be there. Now what I'm talking about is I want to get some guys who can stretch the field. You're going to see a lot of teams have to bring safeties down in the box like Ohio State did to stop Michigan on the ground. And what does that allow? If you have some speedsters, if you have some wide receivers that can just straight up run by people and stretch that field vertically, really puts offenses in kind of a tough spot. So you talk about guys that you might want to see come to Michigan. Gatlin Blair from the state of Idaho, he has a 10-3 100-meter dash. Like this dude absolutely burns. I want speedsters in this class, and I don't think it's crazy for Michigan to kind of have their pick. And you have Ryan Wingo, a five-star wide receiver coming on campus in the early June visit period. I think it's becoming a very appealing offense for wide receivers, for explosive wide receivers to come play for. And I think the 2023 season means a lot, right? You look back 4 years ago, you look at how Michigan ran their offense and the success they had. Why would any quarterback or wide receiver want to come to Ann Arbor with the lack of explosiveness that offense presented? You saw at the end of the year in 2022, and what I think a lot of Michigan fans are hoping continues in 2023, that explosive passing game come alive. J.J. McCarthy hitting shots down the field. You're hitting explosive plays. That's how those teams like Ohio State, like Alabama, like Oklahoma have attracted so much talent at the wide receiver and quarterback position. Because when those guys go watch the games, when they watch practice, when they take their official visits, that's what they see. And that's what they want to be a part of. If Michigan puts together a very explosive offense that can push the ball down the field vertically, I think you're going to see a lot of wide receivers take a look at the program up in Ann Arbor and say, that's where I can make a difference, where I can be an explosive wide receiver, where I can go for 1,500 yards in a season. That's where I think in terms of you seeing it with the offensive line, right? The offensive line, back-to-back Joe Moore Award winners, offensive linemen see themselves saying, I want to be a part of that unit. They're developing offensive linemen at a phenomenal clip. That's what I want to be a part of. The next step is that wide receiver room. And kind of like Ohio State's done, where you're putting out multiple guys in the first round of the NFL draft. That's how you get the high school kids to come play for your program. Back to this 2024 class, Brady Prescorn, a guy that you guys, we talked about him a little earlier, like so excited for him. He's 6'6", 235 pounds, phenomenal body control, can work the middle of the field. And then you couple that with Hogan Hansen, who's much more of a hammer in the run game. I think he's going to play more around 250 and be kind of that inline blocker. You're going to see Michigan run a lot of 12 personnel, and you got two really good tight ends, one in the top 200, one in the top 60 nationally. I really like that spot. You have your running back in Jordan Marshall. It's a deep and talented running back room. And then a laundry list of offensive linemen: Andrew Sprague, Blake Frazier, Luke Hamilton, Ben Roebuck. It's a very exciting class that starts up front, but now you want to see, as a Michigan fan, you want to see them build it up. You want to see them attract some talent that can make plays down the field. That's the next step. Guys like Channing Goodwin, who plays with Jaden Davis at Providence State, a 3-star, fringe 4-star wide receiver, Gatlin Blair, Ryan Wingo. Those are the guys that can complete this class and make it a class that, and you see it on Twitter, like all these guys are behind, like, this 2024 class is going to bring a natty to Michigan. I think we can certainly win a natty in 2023, but this is kind of the class that's going to continue the legacy and dynasty that seemingly is starting in Ann Arbor. Like, there's something that's changed in the waters. I think the fans feel it. I certainly feel it. This 2024 class is going to take up right where this program is left off in terms of dominating the Big Ten, competing for a national title. A very exciting time to be a Michigan fan. I want you guys dropping in the comment section who we're going to get next. I can't wait to get back on with another Michigan commit, because you guys know I love talking Michigan ball. And again, if you guys do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We have game breakdowns, summer previews, talking personnel. So if you guys are Michigan fans, lock in, get in the comment section, get active. We appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.